Papua New Guinea to host 8th APC Meeting in Port Moresby. Goilala District rollout relief supplies. And Baramundi set for one-day international with Kenya.
This is National EMTV News with Hope Imaka.
Good evening and thank you for joining me for Sunday's news. Papua New Guinea will host the 8th African, Pacific and Caribbean and Heads of State and Government meeting in the nation's capital. National Events Minister Justin Chichenko today announced that 79 countries will be attending. One of the main objectives of the meeting is to consolidate unity and solidarity among ACP states. The meet will begin on the 29th of May to the 2nd of June 2016.
The 8th ACP meeting in Port Moresby will be held at the International Convention Centre at Waigani. National Event Minister Justin Chichenko today said that the meeting is a lead-up to the APEC 2018 and will test logistics organised for holding large international events in Port Moresby.
We can host these huge international events, and this is a testing point and a lead-up to APEC in 2018. So this will test our abilities in security, in catering, in accommodation, in transportation, and hosting this big event.
Some of the countries that will be attending include Cuba, Ethiopia, and all Pacific countries. Chichenko said that the ongoing situation in the nation's capital will not affect the meeting.
And with the situation going on, it has not deterred these world leaders from coming to Port Moresby at this time. And that just shows the confidence they have in our Prime Minister and our government to host such an event.
Through the group, PNG and ACP group of states have signed the Cotonou Agreement, also known as the ACP-EC Partnership Agreement, that effectively binds states to European Union with regards to diplomacy and trade. Chichenko says the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Affairs Minister will play major roles in successfully hosting the events.
Look forward to welcoming to Port Moresby all these countries and heads of delegation and leaders, and our Deputy Prime Minister and our Foreign Affairs Minister will be also taking the lead, ensuring that all the proper protocols are taken forward.
Adelaide Xerox, Kari National, EMTV News.
Prime Minister Peter O'Neill has welcomed the announcement that the boards of Oil Search and Interoil have agreed that Oil Search is to acquire 100% of Interoil. PM O'Neill said the deal will deliver tangible benefits for Papua New Guinea. Mr. O'Neill said these arrangements present a pathway to collaboration and possible integration of projects in which both Oil Search and the Papua New Guinea government will hold influential stakes. The passing of Hela Governor late Anderson Agiru has left many unanswered questions by the people. Locals are now calling on the provincial government to continue projects such as roads, bridges and health centres. Many told EMTV News these projects need to be completed for people to benefit.
Since the death of late Hela Governor Anderson Agiru, people have questioned the continuation of projects initiated by the late Hela Governor. People say projects under the national and provincial government must be completed for people to benefit.
They need the road. Anderson did not complete yet. It's on the halfway. I'm at the halfway, the Alaman Bridge. So he did not put the bridge finish, the road from the school. We need the road.
Leo Magabo, a youth in the Dauli area, says Dauli is a stronghold of the late Hela Governor, and despite delivering major projects in other areas, the people of Dauli expect projects budgeted for to be completed.
0 balance, low, inside low, Dauli, Mama line, low here, go finish low, and up low, Papa line, inside low, Hulia. And I'm working work long, Southern Islands, one day, Hela, I'm long outside the soul, now long, Papua New Guinea one day.
In a recent visit by Prime Minister Peter O'Neill to the Hela capital, PM O'Neill gave the government's commitment to complete projects initiated by the late Hela Governor.
There's a project also in our office, and it's starting By me finishing. Now, I go and no some large me, by me delivering you. By me delivering you.
Jack Lapave Jr., National EMTV News.
You're watching National EMTV News. More stories after this break. Stay with us. Welcome back to the news. Relief supplies into disaster-stricken areas in Goilala District of Central Province is continuing. People of Kambesi, Kurama, Woitape, Onogo, Sopu and Kevau received rations this week. Koyari, Maini and Chirime will receive their rations next week. Goilala MP William Samp, who was part of the delivery team, said a funding of 130,000 was released by the district for this purpose.
Each load is about 40 bags of rice and noodles and cooking oil. Thankfully, because of the rain, people are now growing, their food is now coming up from the gardens. So with the vegetables and a bit of this, they can complement.
Meanwhile, the Goilala MP says roads, rural airstrips and telecommunication are major infrastructures the district aims to develop. MP Sam said over 70% of last year's district service improvement program funds were budgeted for different projects. This include upgrade and development of the Woitape-Dubi Road, installation of VSAT discs in all LLGs and improvement of all airstrips in the district.
We've got a lot of potential in agriculture, tourism and other areas, but let's leave them aside first. With the little money that we get from our government support, we want to maximize and put most of it on infrastructure and get the system running first.
And now heading overseas, family members of the victims of the Egypt Air Flight 804 want the remains of their family members that were on board for a proper burial. The missing Egypt Air flight that went missing this week was carrying 66 passengers. Meanwhile, aviation experts say the Egypt Air flight is believed to have been tampered with before takeoff. However, there is no proof.
At the time this plane went down, there should have been 2 people in the cockpit, 5 crew members in the cabin, 3 security people, we've marked in red here, and 56 passengers. They all have to be looked at by investigators. But let's sweep this plane back to the gate at Charles de Gaulle before it took off and look at this area right around it. Who had access to this plane? First of all, there were people on the ground who were doing basic maintenance and care of the ground maintenance crews. They have to chock the wheels, hook up fuel lines, things like that. There were luggage handlers who had to put bags on and off. There were cleaners who may have had to come on and tidy up a little bit. There were caterers who had to put food and beverage on board. And there were gate crews who had to check tickets and where people were seated. All in all, easily 35 people who had access to the plane, direct access on the ground. If you expand it just a little bit, let's say we include the plane next to it or the plane over here, those areas where you have people who could walk over in just 100 steps or maybe even less, this number jumps up. You can easily triple it to more than 100 people. And if you go to the whole airport and everybody who has some sort of security badge here that gets them into a secure place, then it goes wild. This number jumps to 86,000 people who have some sort of access at that airport. So we started wondering, what about here in the United States? How many people have a badge that lets them go into some sort of secure zone in one of our airports somewhere coast to coast? Turns out, last year Homeland Security gave us a number, 3.7 million people. That's a lot to keep track of.
Trukai Sports is next. All the details after this break.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The PNG Under-20 women's soccer team arrived today from Goroka for the Under-20 women's Tri-Nations Friendlies match against Japan and the US. The first group arrived at 11 a.m. today with PNG coach Lisa Cole, while the rest of the team arrived later in the afternoon. PNG will play Japan on Tuesday the 24th and USA on the 30th of May. Head coach Lisa Cole is using the friendlies as vital preparation for the World Cup in November. Sports Minister Justin Chichenko has invited residents in Port Moresby to be part of the Under-20 women's game in Port Moresby. Minister Chichenko said the match is an international event and a great opportunity for the public to witness. The games will be taking place at Sir John Guy's Stadium starting next week.
Sir John Guy's Outdoor Stadium, where we'll have the Japanese team and the American team play off. So please everybody, I think it'll be a great time to get down to Sir John Guy's Stadium and see these international teams playing right here in Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea as well.
To the Port Moresby netball competition, leaders Snacks Mermaids outclassed a young Esco Telstar side, beating them by 51 goals to 42 yesterday at the Rita Flynn Indoor Complex. Leading the charge for the Mermaids, an informed duo in goal attack, Jafet Tulapi and scorer Raylene Andrew. The women in purple had a narrow first and second quarter before running away on the fourth. Telstars had a late charge, however, were unable to counter Mermaids' swift passing and strong physical approach. Player of the match, Jafet Tulapi, said after that the hard work of training with physically stronger opponents was paying off.
Because we've been training hard with the guys and, to keep consistency in the game without, even though they were taking the ball, but we kept defending the ball. Even though we lose the ball, we try to defend the ball and take it back rather than just standing here.
Yes, it was tough, but we got a young team and they pretty played well. They cope up with the Mermaids, which is an undefeated team, and we didn't underestimate them, that we did our best.
And that ends True Kai Sports. I'll have the weather report after this break.
True Kai Sports. True Kai Sports.
Your weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow. In the southern region, a thundery shower or two for Port Moresby, chances of evening showers for Daru, evening shower or two for Kerema, chances of a shower or two for Alatau, and few showers for Popondetta. In the Momase region, chances of evening showers developing for Lae and cloudy periods for Madang, Wewak and Vanimo. In the New Guinea Islands, all centres experiencing fine weather. And in the Highlands region, a cloudy with chance of evening showers, then morning fog patches for all centres. Hebo Baramundi's captain Jack Vare assures that the team is focused and ready for their match against Kenya next weekend. Kenya is one of Baramundi's stronger opponents in one-day matches. The first match is scheduled for Saturday, the 28th of May.
Kenya and Baramundis have played against each other frequently in the last 2 years, and the Baramundis are familiar with Kenya's game. Anticipating a challenging test match next weekend, Baramundis captain Jack Vares said his team is prepared for Kenya.
We had a lot of time to prepare ourselves well to this game. So yeah, the boys are keen and very calm, confident that hopefully we will get a good hit against Kenya on home soil in our first one-day international match.
Vare added there will be lots of pressure to perform as they are playing on home soil for the first time, and their family and the cricket fraternity will expect them to make next weekend count. Meanwhile, head coach Deepak Patel said there are lots of improvement in the Baramundis game and looks forward to see his team take on Kenya. Patel added they have a game plan set in place already, as all the training and preparation have been carried out in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, look, it's the first time that an official ODI, an ICC ODI game's been played in PNG. The Hibu Baramundis are very, very keen, to play in front of hopefully a big crowd. The family and friends, and obviously the cricket supporters. And it's a fantastic opportunity for the Hibu Baramundi players to display their skills and particularly the results they've been getting overseas.
The first match will be next week Saturday, and the next match is 2 days after. Baramundis look forward to more local support as they show what they have on home soil. Dina Rose Raiko, National EMTV Sports.
That's the news, sports and weather for Sunday, the 22nd of May 2016. From all of us here at EMTV, you have a pleasant evening. Good night.